Okay, these are the files you're going to practice in. So I already downloaded the pumpkins, and I gave you some samples there, what it should look like after you cloned out the object. So for example, here, clone out the skateboard. There's a sample. Here, clone out the player. Got this picture out of practice or before the game, and clone out the player. Kind of rushed it a little bit, but you'll see how you can do that. So I downloaded the first one. Okay, um, this is after you've done the actual one from Adobe. Okay, you got to do this one first, the one from Adobe. Make sure you download it, and then you can. I need you to do at least 4 to 5 practice to get this going until you start on your own picture. So make sure you do this project first, and then you can go to the second part, which is here. So I'm gonna start out with the pumpkins. Just open them up, and then your clone stamp is right here. Some of you may have your tools like this. That's fine. You click on the arrows up here or here. It gives you the option of how you want, if you want them stacked or you want them single row. So the clone stamp is there, and all I'm going to do is clone out one of these pumpkins. So I'm going to look at the angle as well, and then I'm going to click here. So I'm going to click the option key on the keyboard. I'm going to start right here. So you see it turns into like a target. I'm going to click right there, and then probably see behind it there's hay, so it makes it easy. I could just go in here and just start cloning it out. Look over here to the I'm still cloning, but look to the right. Look at the pumpkin. You see the little crosshair? You see it's following me, so I got to be careful with that part too. Okay, because look what happens. It's gonna read all that extra part. So that's what you got to do. So Command Z if you make an error. And I don't like to do one brush all in one shot. I like to do little small brushes. Um, so even though this is a cloning stamp practice, there's a way to kind of like take a shortcut. Remember, you already learned the quick selection tool. You can do that as well. I'm training you so when you do a project in class, a Photoshop project, I'll give you an assignment and I'll say, okay, I want you to do this magazine cover, and I want you to add this to this, or whatever the instructions are, and I just want you to have different options as to how you're going to make a copy of an object on your picture. So see, I can use the quick selection tool and then copy and paste it and put it over here. But it doesn't matter. But for now, we're just going to use the clone stamps tool. So instead of cloning it here, I'm going to clone it here because of the grass. So I'm going to click again the top of the little stem there, of the top of the stem of the pumpkin, and then probably go right about there and just spray down. Now you can see it's got a hard brush because you can see the haystack behind it. Your brush is right up here. So usually when you're cloning, use a soft brush. See, and it goes all the way this side. The hard brush is here, soft brush is here. So I'm going to use a soft brush. Make my brush size bigger with the bracket keys, or I can go up here and then continue spraying. You see it's a lot more smoother. And just follow it. I'm looking at the pumpkin to my right. See where I'm going. I'm going to stay inside. And just keep doing that. See? And the shading is great. The sunlight is coming straight down, so it should easily make a clone of the pumpkin. See, it's grabbing the grass on this side. And just like that, make a clone of it. Now I'm going to be careful here in this area because see there's a shadow, and then over here there's nothing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the hard stamp, the hard brush, I should say, and I'm going to click right there. I'm going to follow it. See, right there. I'm going to click there. I'm going to follow it and make it a hard brush. And just rim it. See, like that. Okay, because if I do this, look, it's going to copy that, which is fine because it looks like it's part of that hay behind it. but I'm not going to do that. I want to keep it with that edge. Then on this side too, I'm just going to copy it over. Just got to be very careful because you don't want to start over again. You can see the pattern changes there. Just make sure. That's why I don't like to do different brushes. I like to do one. I like to do one whole brush. I like to do different brushes. And then maybe go down just a little bit here. Give us some little bit there. Just like that. Okay, so that's how you use the clone stamp tool. You just gotta be careful in these little areas down here because the sunlight is stronger in this area, and to have the shade all of a sudden doesn't really make any sense. But just be careful. Again, we're looking at this at 33%, so we're looking at it really close. If we zoom out, you know, just glancing at it doesn't really can't really tell. You can play with the lighting a little bit. And, like here, I would change this pattern not to look like that. I'd probably go here, click here, and then copy this pattern here so it won't look the same as this pumpkin. And I, go carefully in there and change it so it doesn't look exactly like that one. Okay, so see if you can do two pumpkins. Okay, remember where they're located and see how easy it can be or how difficult. The challenge is yours, okay? And don't forget to save it and save it as a practice file. So you're going to go File, Save for the Web. You're going to click Yes. Remember, we're going to save for the web, okay? And we're going to save it at 50%. Save. And then you're going to call it Clone Pumpkins, and then put your name on there, okay? And then save that, and that'll be your practice pumpkin. So everything you do, you have to save it. Save it as a practice file, and then continue on with the next project. Like here, this lady here, I'm gonna go ahead and download her. All right, then go to Photoshop, or I can go here, Show in Finder, which is the operating software. Click and drag it to Photoshop. Okay, and go ahead and make a duplicate light. Make two of them if you can. So I'm going to start here, Option click, and then see how the brush is hard. It's a hard brush. That won't work in this one because you got soft lighting. So I'm going to click here, put softness all the way over it, go back, Option click, and maybe start it right here. Let's see, just follow it. Also your brick, Command Z. Follow your brick layout. So look at the brick here. It's halfway, almost 3/4 of the way. Well, I would say halfway. And follow a brick that's maybe the same way, like right about there. So when you line the bricks behind it, it'll even up. Or you can just get really tight behind it, just like this. Okay? Look at that. Just follow it, follow it, follow it. You can see the brick in the background changing a little bit. And that's where I'm going to play with my opacity. Lower. And then just do little sprays to get rid of that hard line so it doesn't look like it's part of it. See that? Then maybe make another one. How are you going to put one way down here? You have to extend the cord, right? So I'm going to extend the cord. I'm going to start here. Actually, I'm going to start right there. And see, that's in between bricks. So I'm going to go right here in between this brick. Follow it. Oops, I have to go back to my thing. Okay, now look, that's where it stops there, but it's okay. I'll just grab maybe this part here, the top of that brick, where that cord is, and then extend it up. See, I just extended that. Now I can go back here. Remember, watch your brick in the background, and then make the light. Now you got to be careful when you're getting close to the subject here. Okay. That's why I like to do little sprays, I'm gonna make my brush size smaller with my brackets on my keyboard and just go in there and just do the edge of that. See, now we have 4 lights. Okay, so practice it, finish your practice files, and then you can clone something that you have a picture of, that you've taken a picture. If you have any questions, go ahead and call me.